For decades, militaries around the world feared one aircraft more than anything: the B-2 Spirit bomber. The B-2 Spirit was so advanced that it became a literal ghost in the sky. But as technology evolved and radars became increasingly sophisticated, the B-2 Spirit started to lose its edge. Because of that, the US Air Force had to build a replacement. Dubbed the B-21 Raider, this new bomber is unlike anything the world has ever seen before. Its radar cross-section is smaller than a golf ball, making it almost undetectable to even the most advanced radar systems in the world. Not just that, it comes with a host of new features so advanced it makes the B-2 Spirit look like a World War II aircraft. So how is this new bomber going to reshape aerial combat, and will it crush the B-2 Spirit? The B-2 Spirit was born in 1989 in the late Cold War era, when the biggest fear was punching through the Soviet air defense wall and dropping a nuclear payload without being detected. It was designed with a single ruthless purpose: penetrate, strike, vanish. And for years, that made it the most intimidating thing in the sky. It proved its worth in conflicts like Kosovo and Libya, slipping past radar nets like a ghost, and dropping precision-guided weapons with surgical efficiency. To this day, enemies don't just track a B-2, they pray they never have to. But the B-21 Raider? It's not being built for the same kind of war because the world has evolved. Air defenses are no longer just radar sites and missile batteries. We're talking multi-spectrum tracking, AI-assisted sensor networks, data-fused detection grids, a digital battlefield where every emission is hunted. The Raider isn't just a stealth jet, it's a stealth system, a bomber designed to live inside a web of satellites, drones, cyber warfare assets, and electronic attack platforms. And that's the fundamental difference. The B-2 was built to break through. The B-21 is built to blend in. Inside the B-2, you've got a two-person crew, a pilot and a mission commander, managing an enormous strategic bomber loaded with classified systems. For its time, its cockpit was a marvel. Digital flight controls, integrated mission planning, and even space to rotate rest shifts on those 30-plus hour flights. But managing its sensor suite and navigation under stealth conditions still demanded constant human attention. Everything worked, but it was designed with a mindset that the human at the stick was always the final processor of information. Enter the Raider. While the Air Force hasn't released crew specifics, one thing is clear: this thing offloads brain work. The architecture is built around automation and real-time data fusion. Instead of the crew manually processing threat updates and adjusting flight plans, the B-21 systems are designed to actively curate threat data and suggest tactical adjustments like an onboard strategist. Rather than overwhelming pilots with a flood of radar pings and network feeds, the Raider filters, prioritizes, and connects with other assets in the battle space. Think of the B-2 as a stealth bomber, piloted by humans with digital help, and the B-21 as a stealth bomber that can think ahead and only bothers humans when it's really necessary. The B-2's wingspan stretches a massive 172 feet, giving it an internal cavern designed to haul over 40,000 pounds of ordnance because bulk capacity was king. Under those broad wings, it houses 4 General Electric F-118 engines, tucked deep inside to mask heat signatures. It's a monster. Elegant, yes, but undeniably huge. Every inch of that airframe is coated, sealed, and maintained like a priceless artifact, because if you disrupt that stealth surface, performance drops fast. But the B-21 Raider takes a different path. From the limited glimpses the Air Force has allowed the public to see, it's visibly more compact with an estimated wingspan of 132 feet. That's intentional. Instead of scaling up payload to brute force effectiveness, the Raider scales down to gain a new edge, a tighter radar profile that's harder to detect, track, and lock onto in a multi-spectrum threat environment. Less exposed surface means less to maintain, fewer coding vulnerabilities, and a smaller electromagnetic footprint. And unlike the B-2's fixed architecture, the B-21's internal systems sit inside a modular framework, meaning engines, sensors, and mission hardware are designed to be swapped or upgraded without rewiring the entire aircraft's nervous system. It's not just a bomber, it's a platform built for iteration, not preservation. And that shift in physical philosophy sets the stage for something even more important: how much destruction each aircraft carries inside those sleek wings. Back then, the B-2 Spirit was engineered to carry devastation in bulk, with an internal payload capacity of over 40,000 pounds, spread across two massive bomb bays with its bomb rack assemblies, BRAs, or rotary launcher assemblies, RLAs. It can haul everything from up to 16 of the B-61 or B-83 nuclear bombs, or 80 of the GPS-guided 500-pound JDAMs, or 16 of the 2,000-pound Class JDAMs, making it a floating armory designed to wipe out hardened targets with sheer volume. Now, the B-21 Raider approaches firepower differently. While official numbers haven't been formally published, multiple defense analysts, including RAND and CBO briefings, estimate its internal payload to be approximately 30,000 pounds. That's slightly lower than the B-2 on paper, but here's the key difference: efficiency over tonnage. Instead of focusing on mass payload, the B-21 is built for next-gen precision munitions, long-range standoff weapons, and even future AI-guided swarm drones that could be launched directly from its bays. Here's where it gets wild. While the B-2 is locked into traditional bombing roles, the B-21 is designed to be a multi-role adaptive bomber, capable of switching mission types mid-flight. Nuclear strike, conventional bombing, drone command node, cyber penetration platform, one aircraft, multiple attack profiles in one run. It can even release intelligent munitions that network and coordinate impacts across multiple targets in real time. So yes, the B-2 carries slightly more physical weight, but the B-21 carries more intelligent firepower, with weapons built not just to destroy, but to adapt and overwhelm with precision. And in modern warfare, precision beats payload every single time. If you're impressed and feel privileged to be protected by US Air Force innovation, subscribe and type "honored" in the comments. The B-2 Spirit can reach 6,000 nautical miles without refueling, and with tanker support, it has executed missions surpassing 10,000 miles total flight distance, like its record-setting 44-hour round-trip strikes from the continental USA to Libya and back. That kind of operational reach is legendary, but it comes at a cost: heavy crew fatigue and meticulous tanker coordination. The B-21 Raider, according to Air Force strategic projections, is expected to maintain a similar or slightly greater unrefueled range, estimated in the 6,000 to 6,500 nautical mile class, but the real advantage comes from how it sustains that distance. Instead of brute-forcing flight time, the Raider is optimized for fuel-efficient loitering in contested airspace, using advanced mission routing and adaptive engine output to minimize thermal and radar signatures while stretching endurance. And because its onboard systems offload tactical processing from the crew, mental endurance becomes as important as fuel endurance. The Raider isn't designed to just go far, it's designed to survive far, inside hostile sensor grids. And this is super important. You see, when the B-2 bomber debuted, it was a radar-era nightmare. It used serrated panel edges, radar-absorbent materials, and an iconic flying wing shape to disappear off radar. These integrations dropped its radar cross-section to around 0.1 to 0.0001 square meters, roughly the equivalent of a small bird on radar. But that stealth profile was engineered against legacy Soviet radar systems. It still dominates traditional radar bands, but modern detection isn't just about radar sweeps anymore. The B-21 Raider, on the other hand, isn't just hiding. It's actively gaslighting enemy radar operators into doubting their own screens. Northrop Grumman equipped it with next-generation defensive management systems, meaning it can detect what kind of radar is painting it and adapt in real time. Instead of one stealth mode, it has multiple stealth profiles depending on the threat environment. Think of it like the B-2 wearing a cloak, while the B-21 is wearing a cloak that changes color and hacks your eyes while doing it. It's rumored that the Raider uses software-based stealth shaping, meaning engineers can update its stealth profile digitally without needing to rework the airframe. The B-2, on the other hand, requires extensive maintenance to keep its coating effective. In fact, the Spirit spends up to 60% of its service life in maintenance just to stay stealthy. The B-21, designed with low-maintenance modular panels, easier access ports, and AI-driven diagnostics to keep downtime to a minimum. The B-21 Raider is estimated by defense analysts to have a radar cross-section smaller than a golf ball, making it potentially 2 to 3 times harder to track than the B-2. So while the B-2's stealth is passive, the B-21's stealth is active and adaptive. If it senses tracking attempts from low-frequency radar, infrared satellites, or even AI pattern recognition systems, it can alter its emission footprint on the fly. And once you're talking about adapting to the threat mid-mission, you've left the era of stealth bombers and entered the era of stealth combat systems. Here's the harsh truth about the B-2 Spirit. It's a diva. A brilliant, deadly diva, but a diva nonetheless. Each unit costs around $2.2 billion to produce in today's money, with an additional $135,000 per flight hour in operating costs. Before every mission, it needs extensive stealth coating inspections, material curing sessions, and crews have to baby it like a priceless museum exhibit with wings. The B-21 Raider, it's built to fight, not sit pretty. The Air Force intentionally capped its unit price at $692 million, about one-third the cost of a B-2, by using modular open architecture systems and standardized components that can be swapped out quickly. The goal was to triple the fleet size without tripling the budget. Maintenance has also been engineered to be combat practical. Instead of delicate stealth coating that cracks under temperature shifts, the B-21 uses toughened, low-observable materials and AI-guided self-diagnosis, where the aircraft literally tells ground crew what needs fixing before they even touch it. Northrop Grumman claims that the B-21 will have twice the mission readiness rate of the B-2, meaning more Raiders will be flying missions instead of waiting in hangars, getting their makeup retouched. In short, the B-2 was a technological masterpiece. The B-21 is a technological war machine built for mass deployment and sustained combat. Picture a bomber that doesn't just carry weapons, it runs a miniature combat orchestra in the sky. That's the B-21's promise. Where older heavy bombers relied on human crews to collect, parse, decide, and act, the Raider is being built to automate many of those warfighting chores, and to delegate tasks to a distributed set of unmanned assets in real time. First off is command and control. The Raider is intended to operate on a persistent, secure airborne data bus, a resilient combat cloud that links onboard sensors, offboard satellites, airborne tankers and fighters, and ground stations. This is not simple voice or basic data link chatter. It's high bandwidth, layered communications that let the aircraft share raw sensor feeds, fuse tracks, and targeting solutions at machine speed. Rather than be an information endpoint, the B-21 acts as a real-time integrator, assembling a fused tactical picture and then pushing actionable orders to other platforms. Second is AI-assisted decision loops. Expect onboard AI to do several jobs such as sensor fusion, where AI ingests multiple data streams including radar, infrared, signals intelligence, SIGINT, satellite cues, and produces a single prioritized list of threats and opportunities. There's also tactical recommendation like proposing flight path changes or emission control profiles based on the fastest route through evolving sensor coverage. AI will also be in charge of weapons management, which includes choosing which munitions or which mix of autonomous assets to launch for the highest probability of mission success. Third is the loyal wingman concept. The B-21 is designed to host and orchestrate autonomous or semi-autonomous drones that act as scouts, jammers, decoys, or even expendable strike platforms. Imagine a run where a Raider releases 10 small wingmen ahead to map the enemy's layered defenses. Those drones feed back exact emitter locations, while 1 or 2 Raiders launch standoff missiles from safe distances. The result? The bomber remains physically distant while still dictating the tempo of the fight. Fourth is cyber and electronic warfare integration. Rather than tacking a jammer under a wing, the Raider's systems are expected to interleave electronic warfare, EW effects, with navigation and weapons timing. That means the aircraft can create micro windows of opportunity timed precisely to a missile's arrival or a drone's ingress. The entire sequence is orchestrated by algorithms faster than any human can manage, reducing reaction times and increasing mission success rates. Finally, survivability through autonomy. AI routines will be able to detect a warning sign and autonomously enact evasive measures, diverting a loyal wingman, altering emissions, or initiating a coordinated strike to suppress the threat. This reduces the cognitive load on pilots and makes the aircraft less vulnerable to surprise. In short, the Raider is being conceived as a tactical brain in the sky, not merely a delivery truck for bombs. When one platform can control a swarm, manage EW in real time, and update tactics on the fly, you've moved from single aircraft sortie to multi-actor theater choreography. One of the B-21's most consequential design choices is how it treats the future, as inevitable, frequent, and programmable. The Air Force demanded an architecture that treats hardware and software and weapons as modular building blocks, not monolithic one-off integrations. Open architecture means three practical things. First off is faster weapons integration. New missiles, sensors, or electronic suites can be certified and fielded in months rather than years, because mission software uses standardized interfaces. That accelerates the path from prototype to combat deployment and keeps the platform relevant as adversary counters evolve. Next is incremental hardware swaps. Critical subsystems like processors, EW modules. Radios leave inaccessible bays. If a new synthetic aperture radar, a different engine controller, or a cooled IR sensor comes online, crews can swap modules with minimal downtime. This reduces the logistics tail that hamstrung earlier stealth platforms. And lastly, software-first upgrades. Much of the bomber's evolving capability will come via secure software pushes, new fusion algorithms, updated threat libraries, or revised mission packages. That's cheaper than structural retrofit and allows rapid response to emergent threats. For instance, a new low-frequency radar constellation or an AI-based detection method. Lifecycle thinking also means maintenance was considered at the design table. Manufacturing choices emphasize repairability, replaceable radar-absorbent materials, RAM panels, improved access for inspection of critical seams, and automated ground diagnostics to speed turnaround. Those choices translate directly into higher sortie rates, which is the tipping point between having a few museum-perfect bombers and having a fleet that actually changes campaign outcomes. Another future-proof element is multi-mission adaptability. The Raider's bays and data backbone are designed to host roles beyond bombing: intelligence collection, electronic attack, command nodes for strike packages, and nuclear deterrence. By being a platform of roles rather than a single role, the B-21 can support force structure decisions years into the future without requiring a wholesale new aircraft. Finally, the doctrine evolves with the machine. Training pipelines will increasingly emphasize managing networks and AI-assisted decision-making, not just stick and throttle piloting. The human role shifts toward mission oversight and strategic choices. Machines handle the split-second tactical calls. That's a profound departure from legacy bomber operations and is baked into the B-21's upgrade philosophy. The B-2 is a legend for reasons that aren't just technical. It shaped deterrence, forced adversaries to invest in counter-stealth technology, and provided the US with a strategic lever that altered geopolitics. Its successes are both technical and political. History remembers what the Spirit did, and for good reason. But wars don't stay frozen. The electromagnetic battlefield has become a living learning system. Satellites share cues, AI sifts signals, hypersonics compress timelines. In that environment, a platform that cannot be iteratively retooled becomes obsolete by attrition, not from a single shot, but from cumulative doctrinal irrelevance. This is where the Raider's clean sheet approach gives it a real edge. It's not that the B-2 was wrong, it was right for its time. The B-21 is designed for time-transcending relevance, to be upgraded rapidly, to lead mixed forces of crewed and uncrewed systems, and to act as a strategic node in a distributed fight. It replaces the concept of a lone stealth ace with that of a modular, networked strike system. So what does this mean on the ground? For commanders, it means more survivable strike options against peer adversaries, better odds of mission success because the platform controls the data fight as well as the kinetic fight, and a bomber fleet that can be scaled and sustained in a prolonged campaign. And for viewers asking the practical question, will the B-21 crush the B-2? It isn't simply about one plane outperforming another on a stats sheet, it's about operational relevance, the Raider's ability to orchestrate autonomous assets, to be upgraded like software, to reduce maintenance tail and increase sortie rate, and to operate inside a highly networked battle space. All of that compounds into how the B-21 will crush the B-2 without being fundamentally rebuilt. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button like it's anti-air radar. Drop a comment, which tech do you think will matter most? Hypersonics, drone swarms, or AI? Subscribe for more amazing videos.